Peekaboo. What's up, guys? Hey, I hope you guys have been doing lovely, doing great, and you know how I am, so let's just get straight into it. I want to talk about setting and maintaining boundaries today because I just feel like it's needed. It's 2024. If you don't know what boundaries is, no shame, but baby, hop on board and let's go. We need to learn the importance of boundaries, maintaining them. These are conversations that I've had with my therapist as well. There's a workbook that you can check out. I'm going to link it down below. The Setting Boundaries Workbook. And it sounds so basic, right? The Setting Boundaries Workbook. Don't knock it till you try it. It really is beneficial at helping you to recognize what a boundary is, learning to maintain those boundaries, just reminding you, giving you soft reminders on a daily why you started this journey. Sometimes it can be tough. You can see a negative outcome from it, especially with toxic people who've always benefited from you not setting boundaries. So it's going to be tough at first, but baby, keep it pushing. Keep it pushing. Keep it pushing. Okay, let's go. You guys know I have my handy dandy notebook as always. What is a boundary? According to Google, there are two useful definitions. You people, my technical people who want to know, cross the T's, dot the I's. It is a noun. First definition, a line that marks the limits of an area or a dividing line, which applies more to the physical. When you use it in a sense of relationships and your relationships with other people, the second definition really applies more. The limit of a subject or sphere of activity. I want to get into that. I like how they said a sphere of activity, meaning there's a plethora of things that could occur or situations that you could be in where you would need to set a firm boundary and maintain that boundary depending on the person's behavior. Setting boundaries, it's good because it's beneficial for both people. It also teaches you to be respectful of yourself, and not only that, but other people. When you come across another healthy individual who has learned the importance of boundaries and they've set their own boundaries, you want to respect theirs as well. No matter how ridiculous you think they may sound, you are not that person. You have not walked in their shoes. You may not fully grasp why they're setting that particular boundary, but it's not about that. When we truly love people, when we truly care about them, we try to empathize with them. May not have been through what you've been through, but I can understand that that's a painful situation and I have my own set of pain. That's healthy thinking. So if you're around people who don't think like that, you need to move on because those people are not good. Implementing healthy limits that help you and others. And if violated, you will act accordingly. So now that we've established what a boundary is and why they're important, let's give an example. So let's say I have a friendship, because we focus on romantic relationships a lot. Anyways, let's say I have a friendship with someone and my friend has a very foul mouth, just potty mouth everywhere she goes. Bleep, bleep this, bleep, bleep that. I get it. I've let a few words slip out myself and I'm not always proud of it. But I mean, this woman, just the way that she talks to everybody, this is just her general persona. This is just a part of who she is. Ugh, trash, garbage, leave it behind. For me, I can choose not to do that. If I don't want to be with someone who talks to me any kind of way, then I'm going to set that boundary and say, you know what? I don't appreciate you speaking to me like this. And if you continue to speak to me like this, then I'm just going to cease communication altogether. And then you stand on business, which gets into my second point. When people do violate your boundaries, and there are toxic people, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, they benefit off of people not having those boundaries, those firm boundaries, and not sticking to them. So even if you do set those boundaries, there are people that are toxic enough to push it and see how far they can go. To show them quick, fast, and easy. Snip, cut that, cut it off. You cut it off. Don't even continue to deal with that person. Don't even continue to give them the opportunity and show you just how much they are truly willing to do to see your demise. True demons out here. Okay, we have to come from a compassionate place, which, kind of dabbles into point number 3. Don't forget that, like I said, boundaries are not a way to punish people or anything of that nature. Now, if someone's giving you heck about setting a boundary, again, that's a toxic person who does not respect themselves or anyone that they come in contact with. So, of course, they're not going to respect your boundaries. They have none of their own. And they're not going to respect other people. It's not a you thing, it's a them thing. But it's very important to maintain those boundaries and to implement not necessarily consequences, but actions. when people do not respect the fact that you have certain limits and standards for your life that help protect you just based on your experience, okay? It's not from a place of trauma, but it's from a place of observation and realization. You've grown, you've learned, and now it's time for you to put those lessons into practice. And that's a part of the process. Some people don't understand that. They haven't gotten to that point in life yet, and that's okay. But what's not okay is them continuing to step all over you like you're a doormat. Please don't treat me like I'm a doormat, because I will quickly show you that I'm a magic carpet and fly off from under you. When you think you're gonna stand on me, baby, I will get up and fly away and trip you up and watch you fall. We don't want to, excuse people mistreating anyone. You have a bit of control. You have to maintain those boundaries, not to just, I'm going to show them that I mean business, because again, it's for your benefit. And it's for their benefit too. And you allow someone to continue to cross your boundaries. Not only are you opening yourself up to destruction, but now you're being an enabler, because you know that this person knows better, and they know that you know that they know better. But they're just counting on you to continue not to set those boundaries. So set those boundaries and trip them up, fly off from under them. Treat you like a doormat, you be a magic carpet, okay? That's my motto for 2024. We're gonna be magic carpets out here. Lastly, know the difference between setting a boundary and being triggered or defensive from your trauma. There are some times where we truly feel like we're setting a boundary, we're standing on business, we have standards, when really we've developed unhealthy coping mechanisms to the trauma that we have experienced. It's not necessarily toxic boundaries, but it's more so like isolation, hibernation mode. And I struggle with that sometimes myself. When I go through certain changes and life kind of just be lifing like that, I prefer to really be by myself. I'm introverted, but sometimes I can be too deep in the sea of my trauma and just experiences and my thoughts. And that isn't always a bad thing, but it can lead to bad things. So we want to know the difference between having basically impossible standards and actual healthy boundaries. Because again, boundaries is a two-way street, guys. Not only does it help keep you in line, but it also helps the other person. Like, you're both mutually letting each other know, hey, life is already tough enough. Let's not do anything out of the ordinary to make it even more tough. This was just a quick video on boundaries, guys. I love you so much. It's been quite some time. We have to catch up, have some tea, catch up. But I will see you guys in the next video.
Subscribe.